Okay, now we're back. And my music is back. Let's see. I gotta test it to make sure it's working.
We are back in the building.
Hey. And
Hey,
they missed
Kristen.
my dancing.
Hey, Kristen.
Hey, Kristen. They missed my dance, everything.
Yeah,
that
the
I
screen
had
was
going
black. What's up with this
on.
technology?
Like, what's the deal?
Hey, Ray Bell.
That's Taya.
I
All right,
know.
now we're live. Oh, wait.
Hey, Kendrika. Oh, man. We love it. Y'all just
What is
jumping
going
in.
on here, though? Can y'all see us? If you can see us, just say, I see you in the chat box, because I don't know why I don't see us. And I would hate to sit up here for the next, 30 minutes, and then y'all don't see or hear anything that we have to say. How do I even check that I'm live?
There it goes.
Okay, yes, y'all can see me, y'all can hear me with in effect, yes.
Okay, no music, no more music, Maestro.
Oh, you want me to turn the music off?
Yes,
I'm going to play down speed.
Hey, Letitia.
Hey, Tish. Okay, so our life is together. Boom.
And it's so funny and ironic that we're going to talk about our why and go a little bit more in depth. And our why is our children. And if you were you just initially joined, our why is who turned off the music, or part of our why, who turned off our music when we wanted to do our little intro.
My executive producer.
Yeah.
So just let me give a quick introduction. I know most of you guys know who we are. For those of you who are watching the video, have no clue who these two crazy people are in front of you. You're like, yeah, y'all are cute, but I don't know what's going on. So we are
Damian
and Timeesha Duncan. Let's try that again. I didn't like the Duncan. What's up, Dana? Okay, so we are, try this again, please.
Damian.
Timeesha
Duncan.
Oh my God.
Anyway, let's move on. You need to. Why don't you provide an update before we get into?
We are the powerhouse couple behind Team Duncan International. We have the Quit Your 9 to 5 Academy. We have the Bombshell Branding Agency. We hope you guys get your mind right and your brand right so you can impact millions with your message.
Absolutely.
And so,
also stay tuned for the Mindset Revolution community that's coming. You know, that's where we're raising levels of consciousness, self-awareness, getting out of your way, all of that good stuff. Moving on.
Okay, so last week we had an amazing challenge. We had some pretty bomb beep girls, women in our challenge. Some of them are on here. Shout out to LaDawn, shout out to Tish, shout out to Kendrika, all of you ladies that were there, and then some. We've had over 150 people sign up for the challenge with no Facebook ad, might I add. Facebook don't shut me down because I said that. But it's really showed the testament to people who are really eager to quit their 9 to 5, quit their jobs, and build their brand and boss up. And so that's what we were talking about all last week. We also introduced our new program, our signature system, our signature offer, which is called the Escape Plan, how to resign with a dream in mind. As some of you know, we are, in fact, we didn't mention this at all last week. So booyah. This is our book, our #1 international best-selling book
in
that
Canada,
we wrote.
France, and the United States.
Yes, this is the Escape Plan. And in this book, we share you the six-step formula to creating a business and divorcing your 9 to 5 for good. So do we have the authority to speak about this? Absolutely, we do. And of course, we shared our own experiences about how we quit our jobs,
what to
I
do,
quit my job 2
what
years
not
ago,
to do,
what not to do, what to do. And so our whole premise around this is really helping you to step into your purpose. 2018 is your year so that you can fully be in your genius, position yourself as a brand authority, and do what you love full time.
And also not just quitting your job and creating the life that you want to live through entrepreneurship and, you know, providing your calling and purpose in the world, but also learning how to create and maintain a sustainable business that will, when you get to that plateau, there's an up level to that.
Yes.
So, we take pride in also creating a sustainable platform for you to, and
you get it together. I'm sorry.
So we create.
Sorry.
We give you all of the systems necessary to create a sustainable business.
So one of the questions that we asked our group in our challenge last week was, what is your why? And the reason why we asked that is because your why for your business, if you're really serious about, hey, Wendy, oh my gosh, Wendy Free, reasons why we talk about your why is because you really have to be grounded in that why. If you're trying to be an entrepreneur, can't say trying. If you are an entrepreneur, you really want to maximize your business and your skill set to the next level, and you want this to be that sustainable thing that keeps you going forever and ever and ever, you've got to be grounded on what's your why. Because we find that a lot of people get into business because they see something that's popping right now, it's trendy, they think, oh, I'm gonna jump on this bandwagon and make me some money, they're trying to get rich. Their motives for going into business are all wrong. And if your motive for going into business is fully structured on getting that guapo, getting that money, that is the wrong way to go about it.
Money is a byproduct of all of this stuff.
Exactly. Money is the byproduct of the genius that you create in the world. So we want you to be clear on what that why is. And it might be something that you haven't even thought of that scares you. But we don't want your why to be founded on money, because people know when you're just trying to be greedy, you're trying to get money out of them. Your business is not passion. There's no passion behind your business. You don't really care about what you're doing. That comes across in your business. The other thing that I want to share with you guys, which we've been sharing with our peeps all week, is the fact that, hey, Paula, the things that we've been talking to our peeps about all week was that, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, the things that we've been talking about to our peeps all week is that there are going to be some tough times in business. I don't care what anybody tells you, you cannot show me one entrepreneur that has not had some type of struggle or challenge in their business. I don't know anybody that comes out the gate and is immediately successful and has no types of pitfalls.
Rich people have rich people problems. Poor people have poor people problems. So the bottom line is, you're gonna, entrepreneurship is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey. So you're gonna have obstacles. You're gonna have pitfalls. These things happen. This is part of having that entrepreneurial, that situational entrepreneurial mindset to be able to adapt when things aren't going good.
Exactly.
And even when things are going good, you need to know what's next for you. You need that clarity to up-level the business and take it to the next level. You need to know how to sustain the business. You need to know how to hire the right people, in the areas where you're not strong. You have to know what the difference is between working in the business and on the business. There's so many different facets to it. So we don't use that word entrepreneur just loosely. Like, again, there's words like entrepreneur, mindset. All of these words are just coaching. All of these words are just being used. Hey, Beverly, all of these words are just being used so loosely. We can show you how to make six figures, right? But then what? What are you going to do to maintain it? Are you going to remember how you got there in the first place? So, I use that word situational entrepreneurship so you understand that this is just not a fly-by-night type of program. We are creating legacies, helping you go down that route of doing that.
Yes, so we want to invite you guys to pop in and tell us what your why is. We're going to share our why with you in a few seconds, but I know my ladies that are in the challenge, y'all should know the answer to this question already. So I want to hear what your why is.
We want some dialogue.
I want to know why you're in business. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you going through the grind and going through the hustle and bustle? What is it that you're creating?
Chandria, how you doing?
What is it that you're creating that you want to put into the world, and why? What is that founded on? And one other thing that I want to share with you guys about your why, there's a lot of talk about how to stand out from the competition, right? Because it seems like we're all in a saturated market. I know most of my clients are coaches, authors, experts, thought leaders, and it feels like every 2 seconds somebody's popping up. They're a coach, they're doing this, they're doing this. And it makes it that much harder for you to stand out as an individual in your market. The one thing that's going to help you stand out from the rest of everybody that's doing the same things in the sea of sameness, I like to call it, is when you really focus on that backstory as to your why. You'll find that most of the brands that you love and fall in love with, they've come with a story behind them, something that you've attached yourself to, that you feel like, oh, I believe in what they stand for, so I want to be a part of that brand. I want to be aligned with that brand. And so the more you, give me 1 second, babe, but the more you share your story and what that why is with your audience, the more they will buy into who you are, and they will support whatever it is that you do, because now you're building a community of people that say, I want to be aligned with that business. I want to be aligned with that person because I believe what they believe. I stand for what they stand for. So many of you guys are hiding behind your why, or hiding behind those stories in your life that have transitioned you to this point because you think they're negative, or they have a negative connotation, so you don't want to share them, or they might make you look bad, or they might make you look unprofessional.
Or people are going to judge you.
Or people are going to judge you. And we don't, God forbid, we're being judged.
And people are going to judge you either way if you're doing good or bad. So you got to get over that.
People who are going to judge you. They're not your people. So you're not talking to them. But that's the one thing, you guys, that's going to propel your business to the next level. That's the one thing that's going to help you up level your business, is by sharing that. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to share that. I know you
and also your why is supposed to make you cry. In addition to making you cry, your why should be that thing, whatever that is, that gets you out of bed even when you don't want to get up, even when you're a little under the weather, even when people are saying that is never going to work. That why should always catapult you. Hey, Siobhan, should always catapult you to getting up, to giving what fulfilling your purpose in life. And because remember, we are used as vessels to share our story, to share our testimonial, to share our message with everyone not everyone, but there are people in the world that need to hear your story. And and is very connected to your why. And if you are afraid to tell your story, you're not going to organically allow yourself to connect with your prospective ideal client, period.
And so that's the breakthrough that you guys need to be able to see what the other side looks like. Those of you that were on a challenge with us last week, Damian and I shared some things that we probably never really said, not all of it at least, out loud, about challenges that we've come against in our life, because people look at us on the surface and they're like, oh, you guys are a power couple, you guys are this, you guys are that. They have no idea the struggles that we've come up against before we've gotten to this point, and still have struggles that we come up against. And so I want you guys to be present with that and own it. Own what that is, and use that as the fuel to propel you to be that full-time entrepreneur, to take your business to the next level, to be that thought leader, to build your brand authority. Because what you don't realize is that you are the voice for a lot of people that are dealing with the same issues as you. And just by you speaking that, Damian always says your test is your testimony. The things that you're speaking out loud about what's happening on your backstory, the things that might propel you to have started your business, that's the encouragement that somebody else needs to hear for them to step into their greatness. So don't be afraid to share what that is.
And it gives them hope. And LaDawn says, my personal why is to never not have financial options if I'm laid off again.
Nice. Went
through it in 2014, and it's been a rough road to rebuild. And I mean, that's a great why. But LaDawn, now let me ask you a question. And you can type in the box is that what wakes you up every day? Because I mean I want you to dig a little bit deeper. I mean, that is great, but I want you to dig a little bit deeper in your why. Does that make you cry? I mean, I know it sounds cliche-ish and corny, but it needs to, make you cry. And Siobhan says, hey guys, hashtag my why should make me cry. My why definitely makes me cry. So Siobhan, could you share a little bit of that with us? Because, we want to know how that feels, like what's going on, what's showing up for you. Because at the end of the day, our why is Timeesha and my 2 children, even our pets. This is why we get up every day, because once you realize that you are not living for yourself anymore, I wake up because I don't live for me. I live for my why, which is my wife and my children, but also my why is I have been chosen, one of the chosen ones, to help people transform their lives, to help build a better, version of themselves, to help them unpack their genius. That's what I've been called to do. So that's what gets me up every day, because I know once I do that, that's going to create the freedom that I so desire as an entrepreneur. It's also going to allow me to be fulfilled and transform as I'm transforming people, and also help me create generational wealth for my family and passive income as well. So this is the reason why I do it.
Yeah, but the pets?
Yes, the pets too. Yeah.
Okay, that's a personal why.
Well, that's part of our family, so please.
Don't. But I mean.
Hey, listen, it is what it is.
Sorry. I love our pets. Let me not even say that. Okay. Taya says, my why is so I can control my own life. Tired of work to make other people rich. I feel you, honey.
Mm-hmm. I feel you. And see, here's another thing, too. Now, if you're in a state where your business isn't working for you, even if your job isn't working for you, it all boils down to one thing. The reason why these things aren't working is because you're making everything about you. Remember what I just said. There are people out here that need to hear your story. They need hope because they don't believe that they even have a voice, that anyone even cares about what's going on with them. Mm-hmm. So, when you stop making this stuff about you and you allow yourself and give yourself permission to share your story, regardless to if people are going to judge you or not, or say whatever they're going to say, that is going to open up so much possibility for you. So that's why I'm saying we got to stop making these things about us and make it about the people who solely need our voice. They need to hear us.
LaDawn says, hey, Sierra. LaDawn says, I get you. It totally keeps me up and cry. The pain is because I know I have the ability to have a 7-figure business to create jobs in my community. I procrastinated for so long and wasn't ready when it happened. That will never happen again. And it's okay. It happens to the best of us. The good thing is that you've acknowledged that it happened. You've acknowledged what you could have done differently. Doesn't necessarily mean that you've failed at something. It just gave you a new way to operate, a new way to do things, a new system to create for your life. It made you aware for the next time it happens, or even if that's to help someone else, right? So some of the things that happen to us are so that we can impart our wisdom on how to help other people who are going through that very same thing.
And just to address the procrastination, just type in a yes if you're a procrastinator. Let me see the yeses. For all of the people that procrastinate or have procrastinated.
I type yes.
Now, let me tell you something. There is no such thing as procrastination. Let me tell you what I mean by that. All that means is Letitia says yes. Timeesha says yes.
I said yes.
The bottom line is, Taya says yes. The bottom line is this. There is no such thing as procrastination. All that means is you are not making whatever that is a priority for you. It's not important to you. As much as you say it is, if it was that important, you would, by any means necessary, find a way to make sure that thing is happening. Mm-hmm. So that, you know how you get rid of procrastinating? If you take the action and prioritize whatever that is, the word procrastination goes away. So there's no such thing. It's just that you're not making it a priority by any means necessary. Again, you're making it about you. It's not about us. It's about the people and the individuals that need us.
We're meant to serve. Absolutely. Okay, so Tish says, my why are my girls. Even though they are adults, I hate seeing them struggling and not being able to help them when they need me. I am 3D Women because I wanted to help women who not only want to lose weight, but who have been struggling with past hurts, fears, and unforgiveness that is holding them hostage.
Okay, stop right there. That is an amazing why.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, Tisha. What is stopping you from telling this story every day on a Facebook Live, connecting with people every day? Is it that you're procrastinating or you're not making it a priority in your life? See, that's what I want you to, that's an amazing, do you understand how many people are struggling with past hurts, who have fears and unforgiving themselves and holding themselves hostage? Mm-hmm. Do you understand what that is? There's so many people probably even on this live that have gone through that or know someone who is going through that. Do you understand what you've been chosen to do? You have so much purpose. And if you make this, you are going to make it a priority. I promise you, things will start to turn around in your life. It's crazy.
Kendrika says,
hey, Angela.
My why is to create a life I love, to live by, creating unbelievable moments that sets a mark on others' journeys we call life. So, Kendrika, I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love, and I can do that because you're my client. So that is a great statement, but that's not a why. So the why is something that makes you, that's something that you want to create. You want to create a life that you love by doing blah, 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 by creating unbelievable moments, etc., etc. But why do you want to do that? That's what I want you to say and kind of figure out in your brain. Why do you want to do that? What makes you want to do that? What makes you get up every day and say, I want to create a life that I love, and this is how I'm going to do it. I want to create unbelievable experiences. Go a little bit behind that statement and really think about why you want to do those things.
And also, again, I talked about earlier how certain words, entrepreneur, mindset, coaching, all of these words are being used so loosely. Like even the word why. Your why is the foundation of all of this. It might seem like the most simple, simplistic, asinine thing to do. But this is your foundation. This is what's waking you up. This is what's making you cry. This is what's, getting you up in the morning to really make a difference in people's lives every day. I got an acronym for that. It's called MADE. Make a difference every day. Make a priority to be made. Making a difference every day. And then see, we beat ourselves up. We think that we have to do this big to-do thing. Just sharing your story every day on a Facebook Live and having someone share it. You do not know. Yeah, have you ever put out a post one day and somebody said, man, I needed that? Do you understand the impact if you did that every day? Mm-hmm. Somebody will get something every day. Every day. Just do it. Just start simple. Hit singles. Just do one set, easy, simple goals. Start to build that muscle memory. Because once you start doing that and make it habitual, it's just going to come natural to you. And that's what we are creating here in the Quit Your 9 to 5 community.
So Tish says, wow, thank you, Damian. I've never had anyone tell me that. This is my purpose and I need to walk in it. Yes, honey.
You must.
Yes.
You must walk in it because people are dying with all of this guilt, dying with this forgiveness, or dying making themselves wrong. Where I forgot what the quote is, where the most expensive ideas are. They're in the cemetery because these people, allowed their self-doubt, allowed people that were around them, the people that, the subtotal of the people that they were around, the way they were indoctrinated from birth, people telling them that they can and can't do, the environments that they were in, not allowing themselves to leave these environments, to allow themselves to die unfulfilled and leaving people starving. That's what continues to happen. And every time you don't make your gift a priority in the world, people are dying, starving, because you are making it about you. That's all, that's why we're drilling this home.
Siobhan says, my why is my 17-year son and encouraging him to be a powerful young man, especially without his father in the picture. In addition, I don't ever want another young person or teen to feel as if their life doesn't matter. Every young person matters. Yes, my heart breaks to see young people struggle based upon what other people tell them or what the world tells them that they are.
Not on my watch, baby.
Not on my watch. That's right, Siobhan. Not on your watch, honey.
You see what's happening?
Not on mine either.
See, breakthroughs are happening right now. These breakthroughs, see, you're digging deeper. And thank you for that, Siobhan. You know how many people, I know how many people need to hear that? How many young people are socially awkward right now? How many young kids and young teens are angry and they're making it about, they're making themselves wrong for not having both parents in the household, not having somebody to lean on and talk to them and tell them that it's okay. They just need that encouragement, that positive reinforcement that they're not getting. So every day you don't share your story, Siobhan, guess what's happening? These teens are getting closer to possibly committing suicide, going to jail, not getting the proper education because they're angry and they're acting out in these, crazy ways to get people to hear their voice. We need your voice. They need your mess is their message. Yes. Your test is their testimonial. You have to get out here.
Teresa, hey Karen, thanks for joining, ladies. Sorry, I just wanted to shout them out. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You were deep.
Wow. Letitia says tears, breakthrough. We're having a breakthrough moment right now. And see, this is what we love to do because as you're having a breakthrough, we're having a transformation. We just really want you to dig deep. We really, really, truly care about you. It's not about just quitting your job and creating your business. It's about creating a level of freedom that you've never experienced before on this level. And the why is your foundation. Like I said, I mean, there were days when we get up individually and it's a horrible day. But you know what? We don't make ourselves wrong about it. There's some days where we might be a little bit under the weather. We might not feel like getting on Facebook Live and sharing our message. But we know when we look at our whys and we look at ourselves and how many people are going to starve if we don't dig deep, then, you know, that's why I say it's the foundation.
And like Damian just said, that's why your why is so important. Like all of you guys that are in the group and you're sharing your whys, and even if you haven't shared them publicly, I still want you to go through the exercise, write it down, put it on a index card or put it in as a note in your phone so that when you have those tough times, when you need that reinforcement, you are looking at that. Yeah, you can pull that out and reflect upon that. Like he just said, I can tell you there are probably more days that I don't feel like doing certain things than I do. But I know if I don't get out there, then what is that impact that it's going to have on my why, that impact that it's going to have on my family, my children. Like that's my responsibility. That's his responsibility. Collectively, that's our responsibility. Mm-hmm. And what's unique about our situation is there is no person clocking into a 9 to 5 in their home. So if I slack, I can't be like, well, Damian got it because, you know, he got that check coming on the 15th and 30th and vice versa. We're in this together, so we have to make it work. But trust me, there are days when I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to deal with this. What do you want from me? Mm-hmm. I'm done. I don't want to deal with this. I'm tired. I don't feel like getting on Facebook Live. I don't feel like doing this webinar. I don't feel like having these coaching clients. I don't feel like marketing this program.
And you're probably feeling like when I get off of work, I'm too tired. I don't have time to work on my business. Well,
but that why is like an anchor. It's a stake in the ground that I can always refer back to for those days that I don't want to do something, or those days that something didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, or I didn't get that speaking gig, or I didn't get that client, or whatever it is that has me up in arms, or maybe I'm just overworked. Like I'm just over it. I can look at that why and have that why firmly positioning me to say, you know what, you might be tired, but you got to get up and you got to keep going. Which is why I said, make sure that your why is not just what you want to do, but why you want to do it. What's motivating you to do that thing?
And we created this community not to motivate you. See, because once we click off end broadcast, the real world reignites itself for you, and life starts to happen. And, you know, things throw you off. Things throw you off. And, you know, these type of things happen. We've created this community to create freedom for you, the possibility of doing that, the possibility of creating transformation. See, motivation is one, you know, you ever notice, like, I used to call myself a motivational speaker, but I noticed that when I walked out the room, I was taking the motivation with me, because I knew that 95% of the people that I talked to in that room or in that arena or wherever it is I was, that I knew that 95% of them, when they left, life was going to happen and they were going to go back to their regular life. That's why we have created this community for you guys to share, to have dialogue, to share your whys with each other, to encourage each other, because it's not just going to come from us. We created this community because it's a collective. We're growing collectively. There's collective growth.
Yes.
Collective transformation. Collective breakthroughs, allowing yourself to be coachable through somebody else's story, you know. And you know, we shared some breakthroughs through, you know, some of you digging deeper with your why. This is what this is about. Greatly said.
So I want to just make sure that let me just look really quickly to make sure I didn't miss anybody popping in their why. Put your why in there if you haven't done it really quickly, so we can make sure we give you a shout out and read your why. Okay, there we go. Kendrika's back. All right, I want to do this because people get so busy in the hustle of every day, they forget to stop and really enjoy the moment. Once it's gone, it's gone. And so we often regret when we don't celebrate or take advantage of moments in life. Rather, it is small or big. And to make the moment special and personalized lets a person enjoy the moment so much more. It becomes memory. It becomes a memory you will never forget. Okay, great.
Hey, Dr. Annette.
You have a comment? Hey,
No.
Dr. Annette, thanks for joining. Okay, great, Kendrika. That's definitely much better in
Just
a better direction.
Just keep digging deeper.
This is awesome. Is there something? So here's what I'm gonna challenge you to do. Is there something that motivates you personally, that makes you personally say, this is something that I have to do for myself? For example, your why is this is your passion. This is how your light shines. If you don't get to impart this on the world, you will be depressed, miserable, unhappy. I want it to have a direct correlation with your internal feelings, because that's where you're going to have to pull from every time you need to reflect back on that why. When somebody's asking you, why are you an event planner? Why are you doing these things? I want that to come from something internal that drives that motion, drives that bus, drives that plane every single day.
And that's what organically connects you with your client. So Sierra says, my why is my children and to never need another 9 to 5. I want my children to see that.
Can I read them? Sorry. I'm sorry. My why is my children and to never need another 9 to 5. I want my children to see that they too can be a business owner. My son was born with heart disease and has been sickly ever since, and my 9 to 5 job never understood or cared. I lost so many jobs, so I vowed to try my hardest to never have to go back to one. That is a powerful why.
It is. Now, there is a niche of people who are going through, maybe not their child having heart disease, but having some, physical ailment or something that's disabling them from living a comfortable life. Now, addressing that your children will never have a 9 to 5, it goes back to our why. Our children do not know what a job is. They knew that we had a job, but we are breaking this generational, hereditary, hand-me-down, whatever you want to call it, cycle of you having to go to a job. There's nothing wrong with having a job, but we are helping our sons learn how to create from nothing, through whatever it is that they're passionate about. See, it's our responsibility to break this cycle, because we have been indoctrinated from generations on generations. The things that work for our parents, the things that, the hard work and the 9 to 5. Now, Sierra just said, despite what her son was going through, the jobs is still business for them. If you're not able to be there now, as an entrepreneur, you can set up your business in a way where you can have an appointed CEO. You can have people that you can train to carry out your message to people, which would allow you to have that opportunity to be closer to your son. And I could imagine what Sierra was going through when she was at her job, worrying about her son that was sickly, worrying about these type of things. So this is what entrepreneurship allows you to do. But you have to put in the work. You have to know. You have to set intentions every day. Mm-hmm. It's not you just wake up and the why is the foundation, but you also have to set intentions. What am I going to do today? Why am I talking to this client? Am I trying to get them on my email list? Am I trying to get them to buy into my services? You have to set intentions for everything you do, because if you don't, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get anything done because you don't know why you're doing it in the first place. Hey, Shalia.
Another thing I want to mention to piggyback off of that too is, if you are somebody who's struggling to get more clients in your business, you're struggling to figure out, how can I get the clients to come consistently? You might get 1 or 2 here, but it's nothing consistent enough for you to even feel confident enough to leave your job if you're in a 9 to 5 or you're just outright struggling. Part of that is really not being clear on what your why is and who you are meant to serve. Mm-hmm. So while it might sound like very remedial to go through this process of like, what's my why? I mean, that's just a stupid conversation. While it may feel like that, you'd be surprised how much clarity it opens up for you when you figure out that answer. Mm-hmm. Because once you know your why, then you know, oh, okay, so maybe I'm actually supposed to be serving this type of person versus the people that you may have been targeting, which is why it's not working for you, because that's not what you're supposed to be doing, or that's not who you're supposed to be serving.
And then it also, stems back from the childhood. Some of you may feel that you're not good enough to do this, and, there's a lot of personal development. See, we live in personal development every day. We have self-limiting doubts that we're working on getting rid of and leaving in the past. Because the thing is, you know, when these self-limiting things show up, you know, you have to have the muscle mindset memory to know when it's showing up and to know when to be like, shut up in a voice, because I'm not dealing with that right now. Because here's the thing too, when you start to complete your past, when you start to figure out what's holding you back, that old representative of yourself is always going to try to fight for itself. So I give you an example. When you become that full-time entrepreneur and you're going through those obstacles and you're going through things that are so painful, what's going to happen is that old representative that was at that 9 to 5 is going to say, hey, go get that job. We need security. We need safety. See, there, you know, the most successful people are the ones that take the most risks. I know it's difficult when you have children and you have, you know, certain responsibilities, but I'm gonna tell you, we are some of the biggest risk takers. I mean,
yes,
we stand a lot in being uncomfortable a lot. Okay,
yeah,
a lot. So
more times
than we probably should. But this is the life of an entrepreneur. Are you built for that? And if you're not built for that, maybe entrepreneurship is not for you. But you have to have that brutal honesty with yourself. Is this what I really want? Because if it's not what you really want, it's okay if you want to be in a 9 to 5, but you have to find something. You have to find that happy place for yourself. And if you know that you're not living up to your full potential, that means you're making it about you.
Yeah, shut up, inner voice. You're not welcome. That inner voice, man, that inner voice shows up all the time to try to dumb you back down because it thinks that it's keeping you safe. But what it does is keep you playing small. You play a very small game when you listen to that inner voice. And
Shalia says, the old me showed up this weekend, shaking my head. This is part of it. This is what happens. See, you know, our brains, like I said, has equal indifference, meaning it doesn't know the truth or a lie. It doesn't know the difference. All it knows is what you're typing into that brain, and it's just going to carry it out in the world. So, you know, these are normal things. These things are always going to show up. But if you have the self-awareness and you have raised your level of consciousness, it doesn't even matter when it shows up because you're like, I'm going to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. So this is what, you know, these are the things that we stress, you know, your why, having the mindset, having the entrepreneurial situational mindset that you need to get around these obstacles, you know.
And so explain what situational
entrepreneurial mindset is. When certain things happen, you have the self-awareness to know that, one, your old representative that you got rid of is going to come back. And usually that comes in the cocoon of safety. Oh, I need to go get a job because I can't get a client and whatever. Or I'm not good enough, right? So situational entrepreneurial mindset is knowing that that's showing up. You're going to do it anyway. You're going to push through getting a sale anyway. You're not going to go back to the 9 to 5 because you know that it's going to make you miserable. You know that you don't want to take orders from other people. You want to be able to be self-governed where you can make any decision that you so desire. You give yourself. You know that going back to a 9 to 5 may take you away from your family. You know how many people that are, you know, really successful in something, but they, you know, their family or their personal life is lacking. It's because they haven't set intentions for the whole gamut of their life. And that goes back to your why. You have to know why it is, why you're doing what you're doing. And LaDawn says more coaches need to talk about this. It's not an easy road. And see, we're not here to sugarcoat. We're not here to sugarcoat.
So I hope I don't jack up your name. Tolafari?
Tolafari, that sounds like...
I think that's it. Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining. That looks like...
Yeah,
we got our only guy in the room. Hey. I love it. We need more men in the building.
Yes, we do, man.
Thanks for joining. And I appreciate you guys really being candid and transparent with us and showing up and sharing your why. Because it's not easy to share your information and your innermost thoughts with people that you don't know or people that you're not comfortable with. So just even stepping up into that space and hitting them keys on that keyboard to even respond back to us and share your why and share parts of your stories and what your thoughts are. We really appreciate you guys for doing that, for showing up, for taking. That's the biggest. You'll hear most successful entrepreneurs will tell you 80% of success is showing up to the table, sit at the table and taking in as much just get in. You might not even know how you're gonna see through, how you're gonna contribute, but just be present and just be in the moment. So I applaud all of you guys for doing that.
Then just set intentions, set small goals, start getting yourself in the process of completing a small goal.
Oh wait, there's somebody, Timeesha. Oh yeah, honey. Timeesha Matthews.
What's going on?
Yes, another Timeesha in the house.
And also she said, I was super proud of myself this weekend because even though I wanted to curl up and stay in bed because it was a long rainy weekend, we know that, hey, we was dealing with that too. I worked my business all weekend. Started creating the content from my 2018 3D Woman Becoming Her tour.
Nice.
Solidified 3 dates in 3 different states.
Yes.
Come on now. Come on now. You see? That's what I'm talking about.
You see what happens when you get laser focused? Ciara says, I need to send some of my clients to you. Oh, yes, girl. Send them right over.
Please.
They come to me and you would think they are truly ready, but they're really discouraged and scared.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it is.
And the reality of that, Ciara, is people make themselves wrong for that. That is a natural feeling that, we've been, and I keep using the word programmed, we've been programmed to believe what success is supposed to look like. The American dream, which I refer to as the American nightmare, because it doesn't work anymore. Technology and certain things in the world has diminished what the American dream is really all about. And basically, I dare anyone tell me what my American dream or what my dream should look like. That's the issue. So we hold this American dream as set as the bar for what our life is supposed to be. That's the problem.
Taya has a question that I'm going to shoot to you.
Okay. She
says, how do you build up that situational mindset after life has gotten in the way?
Well, first and foremost, I can almost tell it's showing up for you, Taya. When things are in your way, you're making yourself wrong about it. You may even be blaming someone for shortcomings. You're coming up with every excuse to make it about you. So how you build this situational mindset is you have to first realize and get the clarity of where you currently are. See, we always look for different scapegoat mechanisms, or I don't have the money, or I don't have the resources, or whatever the case may be, to find an excuse to justify our inaction, not taking action. Or, because that's a safe place. That's what our brains are made for self-preservation. So when things aren't going, we go into survival mode, because survival mode is safe. This is how we are wired. So how you create a situational mindset again is you have to first start figuring out where you currently are and accept that where you currently are for what it is. Don't make yourself wrong about it. And then put in new actions in place to get rid of that, whatever that's going on with you. So you got to be adaptable to every situation. There's going to be some times where you're not going to have the ability to invest in something or whatever. So you have to think outside the box on how you can create that to do whatever it is you want to do.
And I want to just add to that too, Taya. One thing that I will say, we talked about this, lady, so I'm sorry if some of you are in a challenge and this is repetitive, but it needs to be said, because as entrepreneurs, we're always trying to look at the bigger picture. I want to make 6 figures and 7 figures in my business. So that means in 30 days, I should have 6 figures or 7 figures in my business. Our eyes are really big and what we want to create, and we make ourselves wrong when we don't create that in a certain amount of time. What you need to do is focus on what is next for you in your business. Really figure out, write your goals out for the next 30 days, the next 60 days, the next 90 days. Start small. Let's start with the next. You could even say, okay, this is what I want to accomplish this week. What is that? And think about what it is that you want to create next that's going to help you get to that point. So part of that mindset, when life gets in the way, we're like, oh, we're supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, I'm supposed to do this, and now I can't do that, now I don't have the money for this, and I don't have. If you're only focused on that one little piece that's going to get you to that very next place, all of those other things that are in the way, they go away, because now we're not concerned, we're not focused on them. So we feel like life is stopping us from doing these big things, when really what you should be focused on are the next small steps. Celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge the small wins. Every day you have a small win. Let me tell you something. I acknowledge the small wins when I can get my kids to bed by 9:30. Then I'm like, woo, you did that, girl. That's a small win for me. It's a small win when you can accomplish something that seems so minute. It could be a small win if I get up and I actually make myself breakfast this morning and I'm starting on the right foot. It's a small win when we can get our youngest son out of the door to preschool on time. Mm-hmm. These are small wins that help the bigger picture. So acknowledge those things and focus on work in a place of gratitude. Be grateful for what you do have, what you have accomplished. Stop focusing on what you have not done yet.
And also, you know, just using the analogy, hey, Jackson, like for the women, you know, if a man, your husband, your significant other, you know, buys you, I don't know, a fashionable bag, right? But in that bag, he wrote a handwritten letter to tell you how he really felt about you, right? You're gonna that bag. You're gonna be like, yeah, this bag is dope. But you're gonna remember that small little handwritten letter because that letter is you're always gonna remember how that letter made you feel. You know, the bag is external. That bag is external because you're gonna want another bag when you go into the department store and see that new Louis bag and those new red bottoms. But that small handwritten letter is what's really gonna resonate to how he made you or she made you feel. You know, so you know we keep minimizing the small accomplishments. This is what the small accomplishments is what get the big accomplishments, and we got to stop downplaying those things. We have to include everything under the sun. Yes,
very good. That was a great question.
So LaDawn said she is so tired. She said she's so tired of feeling wrong. Now taking the next step feels much better. We have to stop. See, be more aware when you're making yourself wrong. So, for example, I always say this. I was the type of person where when I get angry, I shut down. That was my excuse for not taking any action. Oh, I'm upset. I'm sick of this. So I wouldn't take any action. Well, guess what? The impact had was the bills wasn't getting paid. The impact had was, you know, I wasn't being able to indulge in the things that I like. That filled up my glass. So, you know, we got to stop making excuses because guess what? The Uncle Sam, the banks, whoever, whoever you got to pay rent or mortgage to, they don't care about how motivated you are. Mm-hmm. Their motivation is what you are paying in them statements. So you got, so that's their motivation. They don't care how motivated you are. All they care about is, are you going to make the payment? Okay, if not, we're gonna come get it back and we're gonna give it to somebody who can. Mm-hmm. So, let's get it together.
So Sierra says, amen. That's right, sister. Yes, I definitely needed to hear that. I'm so glad that you needed to hear that. Taya says,
well, damn, I'm done. This is why I caught y'all today. LOL, small win. It's all about the small wins.
Yes. Marie says, I'm really bad with downplaying the small wins. I know, honey, we all are. Especially as women, no offense to the men in the building, but as women, we never applaud ourselves or other women for that matter about the small wins and the great things that we do. We always feel like we're supposed to just be giving. And you got to replenish back.
You know why? And then also social media. You go on Instagram, you go on Facebook. People always put the big wins. Oh, you got the big red bow on the car. They showing all of this extravagant stuff. So again, that's programming us to believe that the small things don't matter. Guess what? In order for you to put that big bow on that car or whatever you so desire or that vacation, you got to do the little things. I remember when I played football, my coach always told me the reason why you guys suck right now is because you're not doing the little things. You're making all of these mental mistakes that's costing us, and you're not doing your job. That's costing us not to win. So you got to do the little things. The why is very important.
So I guess we're going to wrap up now because we do have to pick up our kid from preschool. So I just want to once again say thank you guys. I also want to mention again that the Escape Plan program is open until the 15th of October. It starts next week on the 16th. I'm going to pop this link in here really quickly. We didn't really talk that much about it today, but that's okay. You guys can just go to the website and check it out. For those of you that are in a 9-to-5 and you want to get out, this is how you're going to make that happen for you.
Like Sierra, definitely share it. Share it with those clients that you think that need, that are discouraged. Because A lot of it, see, we get, and I'll say this before we get off, you know, a lot of people are focused on the external rewards, a nice car, a house. Yes, we love all of that too, but that doesn't define who we are. It starts with your personal development. What's in your way? And there's so many things that's in your way that you don't even know. And that's what we provide too. We're going to help you figure out what that is. Because if you don't know what's stopping you, how in the hell could you ever be unstoppable?
What? Ow! That was a nice close. You ended with a hard close. Yes. All right, guys. Oh, wow, that was the drop the mic. Okay, so go check out the program. We're going to pop into your lovely Facebook screens tomorrow sometime. I appreciate you guys for showing up today. Say hi, Jaden.
Hello.
That's who I was talking to in the back. If
that's the one that cut off the music. This is
doing one of these, like sit down.
Now we got to go get the other rascal.
All right, this is our why. This is one half of our why, guys. All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye.